All right. And I'm missing the Zoom. There it is. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the February Board of Supervisors workshop meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order at, 7:01 p.m. In attendance are myself, Chairman Gerstenhaber, Vice Chair Donna D., and Supervisors Dowling, Johnson, and Odgers. Also in attendance are the Operations Manager, Jeff Eastburn, Controller and Office Manager, Melissa Ortega, Township Secretary, Stacy Hollis. And there are one, two, and I think there's four people online. I can't see the list, but I think there's four people from the public in attendance. So let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. So now I'd like to open the floor to public comment. Public comment may include anything relating to tonight's agenda items. Commenters must state their name, whether they are a resident of the township or a non-resident taxpayer in the township. If you do not identify yourself, your comments will not be included in the official minutes. Are there any public comment? Okay, not hearing any. I would like to move. Yeah, I will take this. Yeah, I would like to move on to the Big Elk Creek Development Project Advisory Board nominations. So we had a number of suggestions come in as far as who we would like to join this advisory board. Just a couple of comments. First, I want to thank everybody who put their name in the hat. I know that there's a lot of folks who are interested in being part of the process. One thing that we've committed to is making sure that these advisory board meetings are public in some manner, so they should be available to join via YouTube or Zoom, however we decide best suits the public, but they should be at least viewable. And then we also wanted to balance the kinds of folks that we have on this advisory board. So we have a number of different stakeholders. We have the county commissioners, we have our state senators, the representatives, we have DCNR, and then we have the surrounding townships. Elk and Franklin are going to be nominating two each. And so we want to do our best in making sure that all of our residents are being represented. So with that, there are a couple of names that I want to put forward. We have a list here in front of us. A lot of really talented people. And the way I'm going to read this is, and I don't have a motion, but maybe I will just say that I'll put forward a couple of names, and then we can open for discussion and talk about whether or not we should move forward with those folks, or if you have some other ideas. Is that okay? All right. So let's start with the first nomination that I think would be a good member of the board would be Antia Consorto. Antia has done an excellent job as far as community organizing, getting the word out. She's been kind of become the face of this process, at least on the township and local residents side. She's been a very good organizer, networking across various levels of the organization, statewide down to township. And she was a big part of making sure that folks came to that nice town hall that we had, where we were able to really get some wide range of voice of resident. So that would be the first nominee that I'd like to put forward. And then the second person, let me scroll down to her resume here, is Eileen Butler. Eileen Butler is a Pennsylvania resident. She's a resident of Oxford, PA, another resident, a community that will be impacted by this development. And where I think she might be a nice addition is that she has some expertise in this kind of a development project. She's a member of, or she's a employee of the Delaware's DCNR organization. So she's seen this kind of development happen before and would be a nice addition to this board. So I think, and she has a long list of policy and legislation experiments around this kind of thing. And I think the other piece that I was concerned about, I've been talking a little bit about this, is not to just have somebody who is, an advocate. We need also somebody who can kind of manage a meeting and can make sure that we stay on point. And I think both Antia and Eileen have those skills. So I think from my point of view, I would like to nominate both Antia and Eileen to our Big Elk Creek Development Project Advisory Board. So with that, I would open it up to any discussions.
Good. I was just going to comment on Antia. So not only is Antia that face, but I also think, and this is really why I want her there, is she's listening and she's making sure a broad group of people's perspective is being brought forward. So it's not just about this is what Antia wants. It's about this is what residents that are affected by this development want, and they know that she's the one, or one of the few to go to and make sure they voice their concerns and they feel confident that those concerns will then be presented. And I think that's a real important gift, because it's one thing to get one person on the board, but it's another thing to get one person on the board who can bring the input from 20, 30, 40, whatever. You saw the town hall was hundreds, a large number of people to that forum. And I'm also a big proponent of Eileen, not that the other ones weren't fantastic, but she has done work with preserves and parks. And, I think this also came out at the town hall that this area is special. We're not talking about a piece of open space that happens to be somewhere between two farms or whatever. This is a special area. That's why it's a preserve. That's why it's not been touched by anybody. And that's the beauty of it. And I believe Eileen has that sensitivity to the idea of a preserve. It's not just a land that happens to be there. There's something special about this land. And we're not saying every piece of land has to have this rigor to it, but this, as I said, special, and it needs to have a special treatment. And I think she'll make sure that message comes forward. Thanks.
I wholeheartedly agree. I would like as many environmentally sound people, and we need people with backgrounds in how all of the environmental stuff gets passed through and worked with, and I feel very confident with those choices.
I'll just say that, I agree as well. And Tia, you've done a great job so far. I can't see anybody having the energy that you have and the passion that you have for this. So that's number one. There are a few resumes that we got, and they're all great. It's tough to pick one, but Eileen looks like the clear winner here.
All right. Thank you, Jim. All right. So I make a motion to nominate Eileen and Antia to the Big Elk Creek Advisory Board. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, motion carries 5-0. Well, congratulations. Be careful what you wish for. That's right. All right.
Congratulations. All right. So the next item is an item close to my heart, and it's the MS4. And this is folks know, hopefully, that this is actually a federal mandate being implemented by the state. And it is something, it has to do with clean water, and which we all love clean water. But there is certain, there's a permit we need to have, and it's a cost that's associated with projects that are part of this permit. And we have been working with another company, and they had a certain perspective on how you approach this. And at, suggestion, I think it was from both staff members, from both Jeff and Melissa, we wanted to just go a little broader and just talk to some other folks to see if there's another way of looking at it. And we've been fortunate to have both Ron Reagan and Pannoni come and talk to us. And their way of looking at how you become compliant with this mandate is more in line with the way we think about it as a board. It's more pragmatic. It's more, we want to do the right thing. We want to meet the obligations. But we want to do it in a cost-effective way. And so, the proposal that I would like the board to discuss is, or maybe I have to read the motion, is that we consider moving from Arrow, who's the company that currently is managing the MS4, to both Pannoni and Reagan, that will work together. Ron was kind of like the brains behind the outfit, behind the grouping, and Pannoni will be out there doing the field work. We met with them last week, was it? And these guys are good. I mean, they work very well together. And I think even in the few minutes we talked to them, they have a plan in place if the board should decide to go with them. Jeff, do you want to comment? Because you've been pretty much part of this.
I think you're right on, Donna.
So, I could read, I don't know, am I supposed to read the motion and then go and then we talk, or? Okay. All right, let me read the motion. I make a motion that the Board of Supervisors transition the township's current MS4 consultants from Arrow Associates to Reagan Engineering and Pannoni Associates. They will keep the same hourly rates approved by the Board of Supervisors at the January 2nd, 2024 organizational meeting. Do I have a second for that? Second. All right, thanks, Dawn. All right, and then any discussion?
Yeah. I mean, I think from my perspective, I would support this move. I don't think I'm going to say anything that's secret, but for the last better part of a year, we have been talking about our MS4 requirements and the cost and engineering projects that were proposed were shockingly, actually they were shocking. They were very expensive. There was a lot of projects and we were very concerned, and really we're asking on a monthly basis, hey, take another look at this, take another look at this. This seems out of line. And so, when Ron came back and said, I think we might be able to take a different approach using a pre-approved DEP plan that we had back in 2018. I think that was 2018. Why don't we do that? It just seemed to me like this might be the right move to move to a different perspective. So yeah, I would be in support of moving towards Pannoni and Reagan Engineering for our MS4 permitting.
Yeah, I'll agree with everything that's been said so far. I know that ever since the beginning, we challenged Arrow and on the projects themselves and the size of the footprint that we would need to support for this, and it never went down. So, I mean, when we got the numbers from Ron, it was a smack in the face to us, and it shouldn't be tolerated. So I agree. The only question I have for the discussion is, do we owe Arrow any money? Are they still working or on something? Is there something in play that they need to finish before they go?
There's nothing in play that they should need to finish at this point. The only cost going forward would be for the transition between Arrow and then Reagan and Pannoni.
Sounds good. Okay. And that would be limited to a time frame, short time.
Whatever that time frame is, we don't want to stretch it out. Looks like Melissa has a statement. Well, that is correct. We do have one invoice that we're holding that isn't due yet. But
We don't have a contract with them or anything. No sign. Okay.
So if you had any doubts in your decision, let me just share one more piece of information with you. So as you know, we as you said, Jim, we kept on asking, are these numbers, is this the best you can do? Understand the impact it is to the budget. And it wasn't only until Ron challenged the idea of parsing that we got some numbers back from them. And even with finally, with the parsing, the number, they were with Ron. I mean, they were coming in the direction of Ron's. So for the life of me, I don't know why. I mean, we're talking, 80% less, right? We're not talking around the edges here. And so then it's not like Ron's coming out from left field. They finally got there, but they only got there because we kept on pushing them. So I just want to give people, Ron knows what he's doing. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say, but thank God Ron's here. Did you? So, should I read? So I make the motion, right? So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion carries 5-0. Good job.
So now it's time for a township roadside cleanup event discussion. I don't know.
Yeah, so every year we have a pretty well attended roadside event cleanup. And this year will be no different. I think this is going to be last year was Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. When is it this year? The 20th. Okay, so this year the roadside cleanup will be April 20th, Saturday, April 20th. And we haven't gotten I don't know if I've heard official confirmation, but I see he's online. Typically, John Auerbach does an excellent job organizing the crews and making sure that the event goes off safely. And so I guess I'll officially ask you, John, are you interested in continuing to carry the torch for us for roadside cleanup?
I'd be more than happy to do it. I mean, it's a very pleasing event for me. Not only does it clean up the township, but one of the nice things is when people come back into the township with their bags of trash, they're just absolutely delighted and pleased with themselves that they've done this. So it's also part of the reward of engaging that part of it. So I'd be pleased to do it. And the date's fine with me. I'm pretty flexible with dates. So yeah, I'd be pleased to do it. Jeff and I will arrange it. I think the only thing I was just thinking about driving back here is I don't think we have many more signs left. We might need a few more signs, but Jeff and I will come up with an idea on what we might need there. But we've had quite a few of them, but over the years we've lost quite a few also. So.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. In the past years, we've did it in conjunction with the Great American Cleanup. Is that?
The Great American Cleanup was sponsored by PennDOT. They no longer sponsor it. They used to provide all the material that we needed, which were bags, gloves, and safety glasses and other things. But I think the last 2 years they haven't done it, and we've pretty much or Township's pretty much done it on their own. It's not a whole lot of money involved. I think we have material left over from last year. I'm pretty sure we have quite a few bags and gloves, so maybe even safety glasses. But sometime in the near future, Jeff and I'll do an inventory and see what we need. But it's not a very expensive affair to fund. So anyway, I'd be pleased to do it.
Great, thank you, John. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
John.
All right, Betsy.
Well, we're going to discuss the potential Easter event at Crossan Park. And Stacy has some plans for us.
Yep. Hi, thanks for letting me speak on this. So 2 years ago, the township hosted a Easter egg hunt at the park, complete with the Easter Bunny making a special appearance. So I put together a proposal for a little Easter event for this year. Now Easter is early. It's March 31st. So I kind of posted a possible date as Saturday, the 16th, which is nearly a month away. So it would be a quick turnaround if we chose to do this. So I gave you a cost breakdown of just rough estimate and a cute little activity for the kids to do under the pavilion. Maybe decorate Easter eggs with stickers, maybe have a face painter there. And of course, the Easter Bunny, we have a volunteer, I think. Easter Bunny volunteer, maybe?
A given period of time.
We might have to negotiate that contract for a little longer.
And we might have
But it
somebody
is.
that can make a new costume that we wouldn't even have to rent a costume.
Costumes.
It's real. So this is just a rough idea. And of course, what I have here is kind of the deluxe package where maybe we would ask the Friends of the Healing Garden to kind of host a plant swap, and that way we wouldn't have to buy flowers. People could bring flowers and swap. I know the Creekside Coffee is a hot chocolate coffee food truck with pastries. We could invite them. So I just wanted to give you a list of possibilities and then let you decide what you want to do. Thanks.
That was even on March 16th.
So it might be easy in quotes, a fairly simple event to pull together because we don't have a lot of moving parts. So if you just say, hey, coffee and pastry with the Easter Bunny and paint some eggs on the Saturday morning, I suppose it was,
Well, and what you might remember is we switched off last year with Penn. So technically, this is our year to do it again. So we might be able to switch off with them again next year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a pretty simple process.
Did we not do it last year?
We did not do it last year.
Okay, and then Penn had their.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that was.
so maybe get to see if
that
Penn
was our deal,
has
yeah.
has
And we
something
met
going
some
on.
Penn people at boot camp, so we have new friends.
All right, great.
That's good. But yeah, it's a fairly simple, we keep it simple, and if I can get the library, we can get David maybe to do something with the kids, we can incorporate that all into a
Perfect.
simple something.
All right.
So what do you need? A head nod or thumbs up or?
I think it's a thumbs up
Yeah,
because
thumbs up.
it's a minuscule amount of money and
The harder one comes next.
the fall festival.
Yeah.
Where's Stefan?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Stefan should be on this.
So that's the deal. So
He knows.
if we did, okay, you got him?
He knows.
All right. So if we did it, it would correspond with September 14th this year with the rain date of the 21st. And again, it would be a fact finding. I'm going to work with Melissa and with Stacy to find out what kind of, if we get the money, we had a fairly substantial donations last year. I was so proud of Stefan. That's why we're not letting him go. We had a very substantial group of donors, which was very nice. And if we charge for the people to come. We all know how successful it was. We just said it was such a wonderful time last year. We plan to do it again this year. I hope we can scrape up some kind of money.
Well, and I think one of the things that we might be able to do that we didn't do last year was we had the raffles and we gave the tickets away for free.
Right.
And people were surprised. They wanted to give us some money for all these prizes. So, I think we can, figure out ways that we can maybe pay back some of the money we spend in a fun way where people don't necessarily feel like, we're charging for attendance.
Without gouging, right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, buy a raffle ticket or,
And I think.
buy some Franklin Township,
Swag.
swag.
Yeah. Because last year, I think it was nobody knew what it was going to be like. And then when they came and it was such a nice event, I think everybody was so pleased and free that I think we're going to get better vendors. I think we're going to get better donors. I just think we'll have a lot more excitement for this year because it proved to be a great event.
Yeah, I agree.
So as long as we can go up and I said after tomorrow morning, I'm on the phone, Stefan.
Get Stefan back involved.
Yeah. So Jim thinks he's lassoed him in?
He knows you're gonna call.
Just a comment, I know we have down here $5,000, in the scheme of things, and we're squeezing every dime we can out of MS4. $5,000 is not a lot of money for what was delivered.
It was,
Yeah, that was an
it
incredible.
was a
event.
fabulous event.
I think it'll be even better this year because of all those people that found out about.
That's right. That's right.
I can't tell you how many people came up to me and said, that's the best thing we've gone to here. Are you gonna do it again?
Yeah,
So I think we
We
need to
just,
do
we have a
it.
little more time to plan. for
That's
it,
right.
so
that's
Maybe we
right.
get, I know. But remember, some people canceled because I think the president was in town and we were
Yeah.
grounded. We had a helicopter.
Yeah,
So there's some things that might actually happen.
So we'll get
This-
Jeff to work his magic with
Yeah.
all this, the first responders, because that was so popular. It was just so popular. Yeah. 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 Okay, so that's a thumbs up.
Is that 2 thumbs?
Way up. Dawn, what were the dates again?
That would be September 14th would be the first date. the red
Okay.
date, And then the 21st would be the alternate.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so that's us. We're towards the end of the agenda here. So I'd like to open the floor to public comment. Public comment can include anything attendees may want to share. Commenters must state their name and whether they are a township resident or a taxpayer of the township. Do we
Dave, I have some news to report on if you'd like to hear it from Elk Township.
Oh, yes. we do.
Sure.
They have nominated Judy Jordan and then Melanie Ryan with Milt Rudy as the alternate if someone cannot attend.
Okay,
Should we?
congratulations.
Who is it?
I don't think that was part of the plan. They went off script a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. Any other, so let's open up the public comment if anyone has anything they wish to share.
Yes, John Auerbach, just a precaution related to some finance. We have, if you remember back in 2021, Melissa and I prepared the 22 budget. And we noticed that the EIT income had grown enormously by almost $200,000 in that year, which was unprecedented. And that income has continued through 22 and 23. And it's all based on taxes on earned income, which is jobs. What's driving the job market right now is some significant government spending on borrowed money, and I just don't think that can continue. So that income could soften in the future, and you might want to just be cautious about any spending. I'm pleased to see that you got the MS4 costs down. That's an incredible relief. So congratulations for doing that work. Anyway, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. Any other public comment?
I just wanted to let you guys know that we have a document. My husband filed a FOIA request with the National Park Service, and it came through from the Department of the Interior. If you would like it, it's like 4,300 pages. It's a huge document. But if it's something you guys would like to look at or maybe add to your website, I can make sure that we file transfer that somehow. I think I'm gonna have to just bring it over here because it's such a large file.
Is it all physical?
No. It's on the computer. It's digital. So if it's something you guys want to look at. Yeah.
Does it have a summary to it, or executive summary or anything
So
that?
basically what it is it's part of the missing Appendix F from a document that had come out that was an environmental assessment done. The missing appendix is there with all of its appendices, and it's basically all the information about the Strawbridge property. And it's before they even owned the Strawbridge property and how they were using it as a mitigation property for all of this land that they've leased all over Pennsylvania for oil and gas lease funds, that they had purchased the land using federal funds and now needed to mitigate and replace the land that they were leasing out. So it's literally every single document that has to do with that, including all of the paperwork that they put through for each individual piece of land that they're mitigating.
So the state was leasing protected land to fracking organizations, and they had to come up with an equivalent protected land to offset what they were allowing.
Yes,
To
because they
frack.
used federal funds to purchase the land that they then leased out.
So, and yeah, so I guess the question would be, is now the proposed use that they're going to be putting into this protected land and really not protecting it any longer, does that infringe on that deal, right? So
Right, so it gives you all the land use for all the other properties and how it would have been used if it hadn't been leased and how they need to mitigate it, including like 2 small areas that had playgrounds on them that they now need to find another area for these playgrounds and things of that nature. So it details all of it, including the environmental assessments for the property and all of that. So.
and you said this appendix was missing.
So they had released a document and it referred to Appendix F being the Strawbridge Estates environmental assessment, but nobody had Appendix F. Nobody knew where it was. So James had filed a FOIA request through the National Park Service to find this missing Appendix F. And when it came through they sent all the documents that came with it. So it's a huge, like over 4,300 pages. It's a huge document, but it's a treasure trove, I'm sure, of all sorts of information. So if you'd like it, I want to make sure you guys get a copy of it.
Great, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it okay to post to the website?
I mean, I'm not really sure what the point of it would be other than, yeah, I think what we would need is some context if we were going to post it to the website. Just having a data dump, I'm not sure if that's correct to do. Yeah, that's probably not an appropriate use. Yeah, that's probably the better spot for it, Jeff. Okay.
I'm sorry, has there been any response at all to the letter that Jeff has produced that he found from George Strawbridge?
And I know John Hollis received a copy of it, but no, not official statement at all.
Jeff, is there a link on our website to Antia's website?
No, but there can be.
I think we should put that on there.
Okay, yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah, it might be, and if you have the time, Jeff, I'd take maybe we can go through that page because as it's grown, we might want to reorganize it so it's a little bit easier to read. The thing now, it's like lots of information just stacked on top of each other. So we might, now that we have
More stuff coming in as we get.
yeah, so we might want to organize it around resources and that kind of thing. So great. Okay. Yeah.
So if we do receive calls to the office, am I referring them to our delegates or
I think it depends on the question.
our nominees?
Yeah, it's a good, because I don't think we want to have. Right. So we're again, right. So we don't, so we're not really taking a position as a board at this point. And so we want to make sure that we get the right information. So I think what we would do is refer people to either the page on our website, right? So we have that page where there are resources and then use those resources.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the nominees yet. I just think it's all going to depend on what it is, right? But if it's general questions, I agree, it's the website. If it's something I still want to be the go through if they want to have something brought to the ad board. I think the board should, keep us in the.
Yeah.
You're gonna be busy
I think
enough.
now you can also say that the advisory board is being formed and you can say there's going to be a lot of open public meetings and push them that way, that when they get set up, anybody can go to those meetings and find out and follow it.
No. Do we have any other public comment? All right, not hearing any. I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:35 p.m.
Second.
All right, thank you, Jim. Any discussion? All right, not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries 5-0. Good